Hi guys, and welcome to the video. This is a video that I'm doing about the coronavirus and how it's affecting me and my business. I have stepped outside of the house and I'm sat inside the van because the kids are going wild playing inside, and this is just a really nice, serene, quiet environment. So shooting you this video on what's happening. I suppose in the UK and some other countries there's not lockdown. Well, there is, but it's a bit of a grey area as to whether you can go to work or not, whereas in Ireland we're on a complete lockdown and you can only go to work if you're an essential service provider. And I'm afraid as window cleaners and carpet cleaners, we don't really come under that unless it's maybe for the healthcare service or you're sanitising or doing stuff like that, which is what I've heard some guys are calling their power washing service a sanitising service. So that might be a little bit of a stretch, but that's just the way it is. So I've been off for the last couple of weeks and it's definitely taken a little bit of getting used to. What else can I say? I suppose in every situation you just try to make the best of it. I have, because I've been off of work for the last couple of weeks, the Irish government has set up a scheme that if you are employed or self-employed and you have to stop work because of the coronavirus, that they give you €350 per week to stay at home, which is fine for food and paying a couple of bills, but it doesn't do much for your business. They've also set up a thing with the banks that they can defer your mortgage or your van loans and stuff like that for a few months. So I have taken that on board as well. I do have the money to pay for my van loan and machinery loan and mortgage for the next few months, but I don't necessarily want to use up my savings in that time. So there might be, there's definitely things we can do for our business. I don't know whether you're working or not. And if you can work and that's what you've decided, fair enough. And if you can't work, there's still definitely tons that you can do. So I've used the time to do some of the things that I really love to do. So definitely, like you guys, I have been watching loads of Netflix, loads of YouTube videos and stuff like that. But at the same time as that, I've tried to do really useful stuff. So I've been out in the garden doing kind of good gardening stuff and getting all those things around the house done that have been on the long finger for so long. And a few other things though that we can do for our business in this time is to get ready for when we go back to work again. Now, I don't think we're going to be going back to the same world as the world that we left, but at the same time, because of being stopped for so long, we're going to have so many regular customers to get back to. And if you're anything like me, you might have customers that are 3 monthly or 6 monthly or something like that. We're going to have loads of those people to get on at the same time, or one-off carpet cleaning jobs, loads of those jobs. So I predict that when we go back, you know, it's not going to be an immediate kind of rush, but they're probably going to do it in stages that you can, you know, go back to work, but maybe social distancing will continue, or however they decide to run it. But there are certain things that we can do at the moment from home, and that's to get ourselves ready for when we do go back. So as well as doing things like, I've always wanted to give, you know, a deep clean of the van, like I mentioned in my last video. I bought this stuff to service my van because I love tinkering with my van. But often I'll just bring it to my mechanic because I'm busy, and it's more efficient for me to pay him to service the van rather than me doing it myself, because I'm better off earning money at work and paying him to do what he specialises in, and I'll do what I specialise in. But as I'm off and I like dabbling with mechanics, I'm gonna service my van. What else? I have my 2019 books that in Ireland they don't have to be into the revenue until October at some point, start of November. But I have those books done, completed, and I've spent hours. I had a box of receipts this high in the glove box of the van and in loads of different places. Loads of receipts for last year, and I needed to finish, even though I'm VAT registered, so I do have to keep on top of my books to a certain extent to make VAT returns. There's loads of other aspects to doing up my accounts, and so I've got them all ready for my accountant, because I don't give my accountant just a box of receipts and invoice books. I actually do all of it. I do an income and expenditure account, I do a wages account for my employees, and I do depreciation accounts and stuff like that, and I give my accountant all that stuff for him to check over and for him to put it up on the government online returns for your P11. So that's what I've done. I've got all of that stuff ready. My accountant's actually isn't open at the moment. They're only doing kind of like emergency cases from home. So once he opens, rather than, trust me guys, every year it's a rush in October or September, the end of September, and all September I'm like, I've got to do my books, but last year, I don't know if I mentioned it in a video, but I had to, so in this last December, I spent a fortune. I spent thousands because I bought a couple of grand of diesel. I bought reels. I bought a carpet machine. I spent an absolute fortune because I could tell from doing my VAT returns that my tax bill was going to be massive for the 2019 year. So by doing it that bit early, I could see, yikes, I need to spend money, and if I don't spend some of this and lower my profit, I'll end up giving 50% of it to the tax man. So that's what I did. I spent a ton of money to bring down, not on wasteful stuff, on legitimate stuff. Like, instead of like, 100 quid of diesel for every week, I bought 2 grand worth of diesel, 2.5 grand worth of diesel nearly. So I've done all of those things to reduce the expenditure, so I don't have as big as tax bill. But you don't know that stuff if you do your tax at the very last minute, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before the deadline. It's already too late then. Your year is over. So I spent hours and hours getting that ready, and all those little nitpicky jobs for the accountant, getting all the receipts in a nice order, in files, just organizing everything really, really nice. As well as that, we were mainly, as you know, window cleaners, whereas now we're trying to do like a 50-50 carpet cleaning, window cleaning, or maybe a third carpet cleaning to 2/3 window cleaning. I've never had flyers. I've just always gone off Facebook and using Facebook to tell all our current customers that we also have carpet cleaning machines and that we've gone for training and stuff like that. So now I took the time, as somebody on Fiverr, I paid one of the more expensive people, and it paid out because it turned out really well. I have carpet cleaning flyers made up, and I'm sending them off to get printed, so that when that comes back after the initial surge is over, that I'll have thousands of flyers that I can do, leaflet drops or giving them to customers and stuff like that. So again, just kind of thinking through all of those things. Again, if any of the poles needed cleaning, new uni valves, new fittings, just anything that you can think of in this time, so that you're ready for when you hit the road again, so that the van is serviced, any kind of thing, glitches are done, you've a new bottle of resin, nothing, so that nothing can stop you when this time comes. I'm not currently doing Facebook posts really for my business. I did one actually of me doing my own sofa at home, and I made up a bit of a joke about a plumber's taps are always the leakiest, so I'm kind of talking about my own sofa and stuff in that way, so that when I was doing that, I might do the same for the van just to show that, or me cleaning my own windows at home. So all kind of doing little bits and pieces like that. But I think people, it's not necessarily a bad thing to keep a low profile at the moment, is kind of what I'm thinking, and then hitting it when we go back. So basically all the things that we can prepare to do now, and that's talking business. But then in personal life, what can we do in our personal lives that we've always wanted to do? I'm always complaining that I don't dedicate enough time to exercise and fitness and doing these YouTube videos, and because we're just so busy all the time and so busy in our business. So it's a chance to step back and evaluate. I pigged out for the first week, and for the last week I've been really strict on diet and exercising and going out walking and running and cycling and just trying to be really healthy in general, because I want to lose a stone or two to what I was a couple of years ago. So using this as an opportunity to not pig out and drinking every night and stuff like that, but using it as a time to be strict and to do all those things that I love to do. So I'm really enjoying healthy eating and exercise and trying to get back into that. So if I have, you know, whatever it turns out to be, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks of healthy eating and exercise, you know, it's a really good life reset to maybe some of the things that I wanted to do, but was so caught up in the humdrum of everyday life that I needed that break maybe to do that. So that's what I'm doing. I want to be able to look back on the end of this coronavirus time and to think of all the good, efficient things, all the systems that I've set in place, all the little jobs around the house or in my business or in my van or whatever it is in my life, things that I've been able to sort out in comparison to coming to the end of it and just being a stone heavier and still the same pressures of everything done. Because I suppose it's not always true that we don't have the time for stuff. Maybe it's more true that we don't put the value on stuff. So maybe it's a time to reevaluate all of that stuff. I am looking forward to getting back to work and getting back into my routine. But you know, we can't change anything about that. We can't. There's no point really fretting about it. We can only make the best of every situation. And for me, this is making the best of the situation, is providing value for other people, helping other people, been out getting groceries for people, and just in general trying to do good in every situation that I can, and to get all those kind of other bits and pieces of jobs done that I've always wanted to get done. So I hope that gives maybe a couple of ideas, and I hope, let me know in the comments what you're doing with Corona. Are you able to work? Aren't you able to work? And if you've not checked it out before, check out the Window Cleaning Podcast with myself, Stephen Lee, and Harry T. We have a fantastic podcast that's available on iTunes or on the Android places. It's available on, I think you have to have an app like, I'm not an Android person, but you have to have an app like the Podcast Republic app, and there you can download any one of your podcasts that you want to listen to, and we're on there as well. So yeah, so check out if you fancy something to put in your ears while you're doing a few jobs, maybe doing those accounts and getting ahead of yourself. That is definitely a good thing to do. So thanks for watching the videos, guys, and I've had quite a few questions, whether it's on comments on videos or messages to my Facebook page, about guys wondering about my carpet cleaning machine, what carpet machine I have, and why I would recommend it or not recommend it. One of the last podcasts was actually about my carpet cleaning machine and Harry's machine, so maybe check out that, and I'll do a video on that for you guys shortly. All right, thanks very much. Talk to you next time.